Hello, and welcome to our law firm, Bell & Pollock. I'm Gary Bell, along with Brad Pollock. We are injury attorneys. We do a variety of radio shows to help you and educate you on injury subjects. You can call us anytime at 303-795-5900. We have podcasts on our website. We have video podcasts on our website. We have instructions. We have a free accident assistant packet that you can get from us. And we also have books that we've written on all of these subjects. You can get them free by downloading them from our website at championsofthepeople.com, or you can get a hard copy if you just call our law firm. Okay, we were talking about today, and we've done a lengthier show about the same subject, so you can listen to that show as well. How do insurance companies really value your claim? You've been injured in a car crash. That's our typical example. Okay, so Brad, let's talk about briefly how they started attacking liability, the liability phase of the case, because you don't understand they're doing that, but they're trying to blame you for part or all of the accident.
Well, under that, you should look up our program concerning comparative negligence in cases. It's important that you understand that the liability part, even if you think and everybody else wants to admit the other side was primarily responsible and negligent, they're going to look for comparative negligence. If they can start cutting into the negligence side of it by saying you are 1%, 10%, 20% negligent and contributed to the accident, they're going to try and find that. They love it if they can get you on an interview and get you to say something like, well, if I could have avoided this accident if I'd have just done this or that. Or this, if I'd have been paying more attention, maybe this wouldn't have happened. They want you to say something about the fact that it's your fault or you could have done something to avoid the impact.
Right, and they're going to try to blame you. So in the liability phase, and you can listen to our whole show. We've got the whole show on this. The liability phase, they're going to try to blame you for the accident. So when they start to pay for your claim later, they're already going to reduce your claim, which we're going to get to in a minute by their computer programs and how they value your claim. But part of it is they're going to try to blame you for the accident. So that instead of paying you here for a fair evaluation, they're going to start here with this number and start subtracting more from that because they blame you for the accident. And you might say, I was rear-ended. How could I be blamed? They look at body mechanics. They look at the mechanism of the injury. They look at science and medicine. They say you report numbness and tingling in your arms, but you couldn't have injured your arm the way you were seated, the way the injury happened. You couldn't have a herniated disc. You couldn't have a bulging disc. You can't have a traumatic brain injury because your head didn't hit anything. That's how they start, right at the scene. There are ways to fight this, and we can't cover them all here today. You can listen to our show, the full show, or you can call us and cover that. Now, Brad, let's talk about how they reprice medical bills. Your medical bills are part of your valuation of your claim, part of what they have to pay for, and what do you think they're going to do with those?
Same thing. They're going to try and find ways to say the medical bills are too high. They're going to either say the doctor is overcharging, or the medical care facility is charging too much, or is improperly identified the code by which the charge should be there, or that they shouldn't have done the service at all because the service wasn't reasonable and necessary. So they're going to try and say they're either charging too much in one form or another. Quite often, these are people who really don't have near the medical background of the very person who you treated with, but yet they're going to criticize the person you treated with, saying their bills were too high, their care was too much, and their care was unreasonable.
Right. I like to use the example, which we did in the full show, is that you go to your PCP, your primary care doctor, for 10 years. Let's call him Dr. X. Then you're in this car accident, and it's not your fault. You go to the emergency room, and they give you treatment and care there, and then they refer you back, go see your doctor. You go back to your doctor, and the doctor does an examination on you, maybe does an x-ray, maybe does a CT scan. The charge is $500, just say for an example. So all of a sudden, the doctor you've been going to for 10 years, and nobody ever questioned those charges by your Dr. X. Nobody ever did. Now the insurance company for the at-fault party says those charges are excessive, and we're not going to pay for them. Instead of $500, we're going to pay you $230. The same doctor you've been going to for 10 years, and that's just one example of what we're talking about. Again, you can get the full details in our show, or you can call us anytime. So let's go to the full valuation of the claim. How do they attack this, Brad? And we got these programs called ACE, Bring Back $1 billion. That means bring back $1 billion to this insurance company. So let's talk about this overall valuation, because they're going to try to make you an offer, a lowball offer to settle your injury claim.
Well, these are programs that they've put together that they really don't and will not reveal to anybody outside of their own people who put together the programs, how the programs are working and what really are the relevant numbers and what the relevant information is. But we do know this. The programs are made to put in a minimum amount, or to result in a minimum amount to pay you on your claim. They're made to discount whatever is put in to try and keep the amount low. They don't consider certain very important parts of the claim. They aren't going to consider and take into account your pain and suffering and your non-objective variables. And even the objective variables, they're going to work very hard to keep those as low as possible so that when the few variables that are put into the claim are there, you're not going to get paid much. And then they try to stick the adjuster to that number so the adjuster really can't move.
Right. And so then you say, well, wait a minute. And my other favorite example is, let's say you have $19,000 in medical bills from the car accident, and they're only going to offer you $11,000, take it or leave it. Well, you're upside down, and they haven't even paid for your other categories of damages yet. And so your only choice then is to sue to get fair compensation. Then they say you're greedy. Then they say your lawyers are greedy. All these people are greedy. What about them? What about their position? And if you look at this insurance company and they save $1,000 per claim on 1 million claims, how much money is that? You do the math on that. All right, Bell & Pollock, our law firm is Bell & Pollock. I'm Gary Bell, along with Brad Pollock. We've been together over 30 years helping people like you, injured people, put their lives back together again, get fair compensation, understand what to do, understand your rights, and you do it through our free initial consultation and our free legal game plan that's trademark protected. Our 30-plus years of experience each is built into and packed into this free legal game plan, and you can have it any time. Just give us a call, contact us on the web, on the internet. We're glad to help you. Welcome to our law firm, Bell & Pollock.